All right, welcome to the March 3rd, 2022 meeting. We are actually live in the new library for the first time, and I know personally it's the first time we've sat around a table with all of you for meetings. This is great. So we are going to jump into our agenda, which I have lost already. So we have public participation. We have our Ray Grande Scholarship applicant here. Yeah. Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
So we got your application for the scholarship, and this is our chance to ask you questions and your chance right now to tell us about yourself. So what grade are you in, and tell us a bit more about yourself. Breeze. With us.
Hear the last part.
I think you froze. Okay, can you hear us now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, good. Yeah, you froze there for us. All right. So you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Priyal Nanda from Littleton High School. I'm a senior there, and I've also I recently actually moved to Littleton, so it's been nice to be here, and I want to be part of the community and participate in more activities. That's what I'm looking forward to be a part of this library and attend and apply for the scholarship.
Okay. Anyone have questions?
What's your current relationship with the library?
Sorry, I can't hear that.
What's your current relationship with the library? Have you come here a lot? What's your interest level?
I've actually been to the other libraries that I've lived in, the other towns, but I've never got to be in the library in the Littleton since it was new, and with schools and everything, I didn't get really time to visit. But I've been pretty frequent with going to the libraries and where I used to live. So yeah.
Great.
In your juniors currently or senior?
Senior.
Senior.
And what are you hoping to study?
I want to actually study computer science and data science, and I hope to master in public and health sciences.
Okay.
She's covering all the bases.
Yeah, she's got us all.
Really talk a little bit in your application about the importance of community service to you. Could you maybe talk a little bit more about that and what community is involved in?
Mm-hmm. So I've been involved in multiple communities as I've moved a lot through my high school. So I've done community service in school, organizing fundraisers and events in school. And then I've also been when I moved to Littleton, I got to be a part of this community in Maynard. It's an open table at a food pantry where I served people in need and helped them by packaging and delivering food to them. And then I helped the environmental club in my school to take care of our landscaping and gardening. And then I also was involved in a humanitarian club who helps people in need and when they organize the sorry. Yeah, we helped organizing the events in our school, at the football games and basketball games where I also served there.
So how much information do you know about the scholarship and what we're looking for? Do you know the specifics of what it entails?
Sorry, I couldn't.
Do we need to describe it? What I'm wondering is how much about the scholarship and what we require for you to fulfill. Do you know those obligations?
Yeah, it's the 150 hours of community service at the library. Yep. I think.
What was the deadline?
Yeah, in August.
End of August. So typically, we really want help during the summer reading program hours, so more toward the end, but it would be good to have you come on a regular basis. So you get to learn the library. So when you hit summer, you're ready to really be helpful in that way. Is that true, Sam? Is there anything you want to add?
Right. So mostly we're looking for people to shelf books, help with programs, help in the teen room. We have a new teen room and a new teen librarian that will need a lot of help. So she's looking for help with that. Doing programs, circulation desk, we always need help there, and other little projects here and there over the next few months.
Yeah, so I was actually planning to come in on weekends until I have my school, and then like on the weekdays after the school ends. So yeah, I think I was like preparing to start as early as possible.
Would that work, Sam?
Yeah.
So Saturdays until school summer.
Where do you plan to study? Where are you hoping to go?
I haven't committed yet, but I might go to UMass Amherst in fall.
Is that time you start getting, everyone's getting letters now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I recently received mine. I was excited.
The first one, sigh of relief. Okay, this is real. I'm the candidate for the scholarship. Do you have any questions? No. No. We've already answered. Just check.
How did you hear about the scholarship? Where did you get to know this stuff?
So I actually got to hear about it from our school, like the guidance.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never really sure how to get there. So
Yeah.
good. At this point, do you guys have any discussion? Want 2 scholarship people this year? And you can't do enough work for 2 scholarships.
Yeah, I spoke to staff.
Great.
Do you have any questions for us, Priya, about the commitment or about how any of that works, or?
Not really. Except I haven't like served. I have like served in the library before, like helping the librarians like organize books and like the library in general. But like I've never really done community service there, so like I'll get like help to like know what to do, right? Like yeah.
Definitely. The staff
Okay.
staff will work with you and they'll
Okay.
give you direction.
Yeah. Perfect.
We'll look forward to.
Usually it's the head of cert general. So when you come in, I'll email you and we'll figure out a date and time for you to start, and I'll tell you to get in contact with.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Great.
Most of the libraries are pretty easygoing.
Mm-hmm.
They'll treat you well, and they'll just ask them questions, and they will teach you. So that's the biggest thing.
Oh.
Don't be afraid of questions.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
Great. Anything else? Stop it.
Move to approve for the Ray Monday scholarship. Sorry, I had to talk louder. Move to approve Priya Manda for the Ray Monday scholarship.
Second?
Wait, we're all together. Can we just do a face vote?
Yes.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations. We look forward to meeting you in person.
Thank
I'll be in
you.
contact.
Yeah, contact Sam and we'll get you started.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you. Look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys as well and visiting the new library. Thank you. Am I all set or?
You can log off. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we're moving on to correspondence. Anything, Sam?
Yeah.
Oh, correspondence. Okay. Approval of minutes from February 3rd, 2022.
They're very neat.
They're
Very
really good.
It's a shame. I definitely not reach that level of neatness.
Very neat.
I did notice this one typo, the minutes from January 11th should have been 2022. Oh, I'm not on the first. My name is also spelled wrong, but.
We're gonna fix Kimberly's name.
I learned that. How do I spell it?
It's just under approval.
Yeah, it's correct in the other places. It's just Kimberly. Or Kimberly, not Kimberly. That's her own name.
Move to accept the minutes as amended.
Second.
Everyone in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, moving on.
That's amended.
That's amended.
Who seconded? Yeah.
Okay, Kimberly and I voted. Coin toss. All right, treasurer's report.
Okay, I have the numbers for the 3 accounts. The state account is $4,689,051.11. The building account has $983,473.61. And the trustee account has $3,803.48. I have not gotten the March report from Sean. He says he will send it to me as soon as he can.
Any questions about the treasurer's
Can
report?
you send those numbers to me?
Yeah, they're actually, I sent them yesterday on Thursday.
I can give you an email.
That's fine. Do you want me to?
Yeah, no, I'll go and grab them later.
Okay.
So, you want to talk about the budget stuff that I've been working on now or under other business?
Probably appropriate now.
So, well, there's a couple different things. One, I've been talking to the finance team about how much we can be spending out of the BART funds on an annual basis to support both the materials budget and Sam's wish list. So I'm trying to set up a meeting with them and get a we probably would like to have a formal agreement on how much we'll contribute to the trust fund, from the trust funds to materials every year. I think that will help us on the budget front in general. And then on the other, we'll have an idea on how much we can spend on like scholarships and building maintenance, things like that per year without affecting the balance of the fund. So I'm trying to work out what those numbers actually are. And I CC you on all the.
It's all right.
So, that's what's going on there. On the budget front, the select board and finance committee meet on Tuesday night to talk more about the operating budget. Trina, Sam and I have been working on a memo. I don't know if you circulated that.
I'm not actually, yes.
So we've been working on a memo to present to those two boards to say why, to justify the additional hours we're asking for. I've also been talking to the selectmen and the finance committee one-on-one about it. So Trina also sent the memo around, but we'd like to actually get the trustees' signatures on it before we send it to the select board and the finance committee. So we're asking for an increase of budget of 51,000-ish and agreeing to contribute 15,000 trust funds to offset that 51 for the materials. So the hours are due up the team librarian position from 30 to 37.5, update one of the library checks from 19 to 30, and to hire a library assistant for 6 hours. In the process of going through this, since Sam's been here, there's been no increase in the number of staff hours per week that the library has. And doing some research, it looks like we're at the same staffing level as we were in 2005. So if you look at the circ number, well, the circ numbers and the building numbers are way up compared to them. That's part of the justification for the additional hours. The other numbers that are up, but we don't really have the numbers, I'm sure the number of programs is correct. Because back in 2005, we had almost no programs compared to what we had. Outside of summer reading, there were very few adult programs when I joined the public.
When you have the meeting with the financial director talking about percentages of the market, things like that, can you use in?
Yes, I'm working on setting that up. It will probably be towards the end of this month.
Okay. And my other question is for the budget. When you say we're donating the 15K from trust funds, is that something that we are committed to do annually?
So I think we should figure out what a reasonable number is that we can donate, that we can contribute annually. There's certain trust funds that can only be used for materials, so there's no point in not doing that. I think the 15,000 number is going to be, if we stated the 15,000 is taking money from other buckets too, to maintain those, but it's not, it wouldn't hamper our ability to do other things. In 15,000, there's still, we could still do a lot of additional work in the library, to support, other improvements to the library. We wanted, like, I know you got the grant to do like some 80 more ADA type stuff, but we could also potentially support, activities such as that out of trust funds going forward. And, the scholarship for basically get out of trust funds too. So, what would be nice is to come up with a rough plan of how we want to use the trust fund going forward and not just sit on it. Without overcommitting.
I think we agreed 15,000 this year, and then not that proportion that we're talking about is kind of what can we keep contributing annually and not completely blow our budget. Right.
Well, 15,000 is also what historically the numbers have been somewhere between 8 and 15 in the month, and since I've been before. Some years it goes up, some years it goes down, and it all depends on the whim of the finance team and how the stock market's doing and how the town tax revenues are doing, and it's all, but it would be nice just to not have it be so.
Well, that was what some of the feedback too when we went to the budget presentations was, how do we know that you'll keep contributing this year after year? Because we are asking for staff that will continue to be employed. So it makes sense to me that let's make this more formal so that we can back up this commitment.
So when we did the budget presentation, we had sources that weren't guaranteed by them, like the Friends money and the trust money. But we can't comment that the Friends will always provide the money that they've historically provided, but we can say historically this is what they've done. We don't expect anything different. But we can go forward saying we will commit to doing this, and we can create an MOU or whatever it is with the town to make that happen.
And then the other part of that pot was just to make sure that we have money set aside for repairs as they come up, so that we don't have to keep going back to this town time after time. We need to replace carpet, we need to put new tiles in the ceiling or something that we could maybe more easily fix on our own, and then save for the big asks for them, like something like really big asks to replace.
And there's like a lot of little ventures we keep finding in the building, like, oh, I know that I think they already did them, like we asked for like USB outlets in some of the meeting rooms, and those were installed under the building project budget. But if they came out after the building project was done, you're gonna want funds available to do something like that. Right?
And those kind of improvements or new shelving here, whatever, that's part of that. Function of our library is important. We want to maintain that. That's the goal, anyways, to make it more clear for us going forward and to be saving or thinking ahead.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Right. Anything else? Budget, treasurers related? Friends report. Okay, so they had gotten 4,500 so far this year for membership dues, and are in the process of, I guess they already have sent notifications out to people who have not yet renewed or donated for this year so far. They have been received. They have been received. Okay. And then, so good numbers on the book sale room in the library from November until the beginning of February. They made about $800. So sales are going well in there, and they're an ongoing process how to make the book sale room work as well as possible. The quote was that it was nicely full. Children's picture books were getting a little bit crowded, and so it's just how to organize things so that people can see everything and so what is displayed is what people might buy. They made $383 from the cookie sale for the Love Your Library Day, and people seemed really happy to just be there buying cookies, and adults more than kids maybe, but it seemed, I wasn't able to go, but the reports were that it was very well received. The candy jar, they were going to draw winners at the end of the month, which was a day or two ago. I don't know if they've done that yet, but that was happening. There would be an adult and a kid winner for that. Do they still get the toothbrush? Yes, so there were the toothbrushes have been picked up. Okay. And some of the other, I know where the other prizes was you could get a choice of books from the book sale room, which part of book sale is coming the weekend of April 30th, May 1st. So I believe the plan is that Friday, which is the 29th, will be early access for Friends members, and it will go Friday from 2 to, I think the early access is 2 to 3, and then the sale 2 to 6, I believe the hours. We're not sure on that. And then during the day on Saturday, and then during the day on Sunday will be 10 to 3, the bag sale where you can sell a bag for $5. And then April, are they setting up in this space? Yes. Are they just the space and possibly out into the lobby? Or do they need volunteers? They have the NHS members, and I assume they will reach out to with the plan to tell people to bring. They have, I think the week before they were going to accept. So the librarians, they're sort of accepting them if people ask, but we have not. It's not a publicized yet. I know a lot of people are waiting for that. Right. So I think that official date would be the week before. Is that right? Yeah. So then they will. Where are we starting at a sudden influx of books?
Or we just have to go from the
You can work it out with John. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a plan worked out. And then transfer station also the month of April, they will be recycling bottles and cans. And they're just trying to figure out the best way to do that, either to go to the Redemption Center in Lowell, but last time around they were very particular on how they wanted things sorted, or asked for volunteers to just fill their trunks and take loads over to Colonial or wherever else to redeem them. Yeah. So that was still a work in progress. Nice to see some income coming back in and the activity, regular things. I know Wendy mentioned there was somebody who wants to join Friends. I hadn't heard back. She sent that individual email to us for this day. I will send that out. Great. Right. Any other Friends questions? There's plenty of tax organizers. The passionate bodies, yeah. Absolutely. People were very willing to pay. So when we do mini golf. Right, building updates. You guys can stare off.
So Yeah, so, the hurricane, 2 weeks ago, and went around the building along with the OPM, and, did some painting, upstairs. I guess that right wall by the study rooms, it was incomplete. I didn't realize it, but one of the walls was supposed to be painted red, so they painted it red. They also came around and, within the gate, they are working on figuring out a new solution to fixing it so that it doesn't, the fuse doesn't go out from the cement. So they're working on that, and they're ordering parts for that. They also went around and fixed some little things that were wrong, and they plan to come back again in a month to fix everything else. But still in place. Which isn't very much, actually. It's just a lot of small things.
That be like paper towel.
That's gonna be
That on that list.
That's gonna be on the list.
Good. Essentially, when Mark and I were in the closet, we found a lot of paper towel holders, dispensers. We're like, why are there 5 extras? And then I went into the bathrooms and realized they weren't actually installed.
Right.
So they're just not up. There's not 5 extras, there are 5 to be put. And the shelving is separate, and that is still waiting for parts.
Yeah, we're still waiting on
Thanks.
next to the builder.
Okay.
For both the shelves that are missing upstairs and there's
Yeah, the chosen children and gaps and tops. The shelving upstairs that we're still waiting on. We're just waiting on the order, basically.
What shelving is it?
Some shelving in the periodicals area, and the Maxons are, there's some missing, and then, over by the sci-fi, against the wall, we're waiting on narrower shelves. And also in children's room, they're missing the tops for the.
well, we have most of the tops, we just don't have the hardware to put the tops on.
To be specific.
Yeah.
I
The
think
tops are still stored.
yes. But, in the patio furniture's here, or
Warren has arrived. Chairs.
No, it's
There were
just,
chairs out
yeah, they were ordered, they're just covered in that.
there. Okay. We didn't get the covers yet.
Yeah,
Okay. Anyone sitting on them before they get covers and stuff? Okay, that's my next goal. Sit in the chairs when they're not covered in the
I'll fill in some other stuff. So the solar panels, bidding closed on Friday, they have 1 bid. They vetted the bid and have recommended approving the contractor. They are in the process of finalizing the full package for the solar panel installation, which is basically the contractor plus the OPM plus contingencies plus engineering that. So the exact number is still up in the air, but it's going to be around 185 for the contract, roughly 185,000, which is more than we expected, but it's not outside of what we know. So we were figuring it was around 170, 160, between 160 and 170. So it came in at 185. So it was higher than we were hoping for, but the plan right now,
What is the earmark?
110. The plan right now is for that contract to be ready for the selectmen to sign at their meeting at the end of this month. So once the selectmen sign the contract, then basically the contractor can be engaged, and we have to re-engage the architect to do the lead for the building, so we can get working on that. The plan is to pay for so we have the $110,000 earmarked, and then the rest of the money. I believe the idea is that we're going to use the lead money, the lead grant to pay for anything above the earmark, and then, and then we'll figure out if there's anything else where we have to pay for it. I'm not sure if they meant the extra in the lead money or the whole lead grant. Because the whole lead grant should cover more than that contract.
Yeah, well, around the same as the year.
Well, it was before we get the pump,
So
so,
it's before the bump up.
so,
So there was money in the project.
yes, so, yes. I've also been working with Brian on, getting, another digit to the budget. So right now, we know it's 14 point something million, and I'm trying to get the next number, after that. It's looking like it's between 7, probably a 7, but it might be an 8. So it's somewhere in that range. The goal, my goal is to get another number from him this week and then add another digit in a couple weeks and then keep adding digits. So, the town allocated 14.6. So above 14.6, it's either going to come out of trust funds or excess pool rate, the extra that we fundraise, above the numbers. Which goes back to what we were talking about for how much we can take out of trust funds if we're taking money out of trust funds to pay for the building that over what you can pay on, you can do on that annual basis. I also, earlier today, I emailed LELD about the car charger. They announced that in their newsletter, they said they have the level 3 charger coming for their office, which means that the level 2 charger should be coming here, but they don't know the timeline on that. I'm also not sure how it's being installed, if we have to pay for that installation or if we would. I will try and find that out.
Just taking the digits up.
I know. Did I miss anything else there?
I don't think so.
Good thing they exceeded $1 million. All right. That seems like a lot of. Any questions in the building? A lot of people like it. All right, trustee update.
Sure, I just have,
Oh, good.
yeah, I've been enjoying, as usual, coming in and out of the library pretty much every day, because there's always something to pick up or drop off. I really, like twice in the past week because of the snow. My son went sledding with friends and I got to sit inside the library to watch him. And that was great. That window was perfect to watch your kids sledding. I did go to the very end of the sale, just happened to be there. And it's really nice. Sarah and Janice were there with good spirits. I like the announcement boards that went up in the park. It's really great to have like a place where you put different size things, because I don't know. So yeah, I like that. And I also found a chair. I found my favorite chair. My favorite spot.
Which one's that?
Yeah, which one?
It's in the first in the corner, right? It's over in the fiction section in the back corner.
I'm not telling you where my chair is. For those that weren't aware, Mark and I claimed the same chair in the old library, but we didn't know it until we both arrived there. So now we're debating which one's going to be our chair. All right. Sure. Not much new, but it's still in and out occasionally. I love how my daughter can come over here after school, and so and I got an email notification that she reserved a meeting room. And, but yeah, I'm loving it, and summer reading or winter reading program. Thank you for another good summer reading program. Not summer, winter reading program. Remind me.
Comments while I'm speaking. Yeah, so staying in and out, not as much as I should. I need to try to get over here on Fridays when I work from home, but it's hard time. I'm happy to be here today.
in touch with Susan a lot during the week because I sign off on those reports, which is nice to be able to emails from her. Often when she says, so go and find her things from it. And I think I've been, February's been a weird month. It's gone by, it went by quickly. It's a short month, I guess, so it went by fast. It's good. Now spring, it's light in the morning. Feeling happy, which is exciting.
You're not running anymore.
I'm driving to the gym and the sun's coming up, so it feels like. Socially awkward.
So I think most of my events around the library you've been at. Katrina and I were here yesterday for the Rotary meeting where they were dedicating the room for the Sturts. It was a good crowd. They seemed to all enjoy the library. Katrina did an awesome job leading a tour of the library afterwards. We didn't realize that the gate would end up being closed because the gate was open when we came in. So we.
The cleaners were here.
The cleaners were here, yes. We thought the staff was here, so we got to go to the back.
We gave them the back room tour too.
See, what else do I have? Katrina and I spent another Saturday organizing the storage closet.
A lot of time.
And cleaning out, we moved the excess ceiling tiles from the children's room too. So all of the building supplies, or almost all of the building supplies, are in one spot. Some of them are up in the mezzanine, but everything else is on shelves, and the storage room should be more usable by the staff. And my other update is I'm not running again for trustee. So if you know anyone that wants to be on the board, the papers need to be pulled by March 17th and returned by the 8th.
Returned by full place.
Pulled by the 17th and returned. After 16 years, it's time for someone else to take it.
You're leaving a hole there. But I understand.
Dan's tired.
He wanted it. We do need a new trustee, and Mark and I have been talking to various people that come up with conversations, but haven't necessarily found one yet. So if you guys have ideas, people for goals. Mira has full papers. I have signatures, so I'm working on it. Okay. Yeah. I appreciate it. But yeah, Mark's you have big shoes to fill. We all have to step up into them somehow. So maybe we can break
I won't be
everything that Mark does into small chunks so each of us can specialize. That would be
I'm more than willing to help out on that. That's all you're doing.
okay, and it will also be easier for like 2 people plus Mark to get together to like debrief and learn what Mark. But for those small like finance or whatever, we should be sit in the table and brainstorm together. It'll be great. But yeah. All right. What do I have for updates? Other than being mad that Mark's leaving. So not mad, just scared and sad. Realizing how much you do and how much we need to step up. And then Mark just pretty much gave most of my updates because I was here at the Rotary dedication of the Sturts room and then also the closet, I've been in here, I feel like I run in a lot to pick up kids and then just say hi and sign in. The kids, so the teens love walking here after school. They haven't been too disruptive or it's getting better. Great. I know they really like the teen room and they starting like in what happens. Pulling together in there. So yeah, there are definitely more bodies in that room now that she's active in it. So it's great. And then today, my son joined the fourth grade book club in person for the first time, and he came out so excited. So Jen did another great job of that. So he's looking forward to this. Otherwise, I don't have many more updates. Probably something. Followed up with Joe about the cleaning contract. We'll keep working on that. And I contacted her about what her needs are, but otherwise I don't know more. So we will keep working on those things. There's a report.
Yeah, so this month, again, it's pretty much building stuff, working with contractors and looking at. I'm also working on sending Mdlc legislative breakfast here in a couple of weeks. So on Friday, March 18th, 7:30 a.m. I spoke to Senator Eldridge's office and they agreed to come. So basically, Mdlc every year we do a couple of legislative breakfasts for people. So that's when the Senate comes up with their agenda for libraries, and so try to get the word out about how you should support a library. So we're trying to get other local legislators to come out. I sent an email to RCR that the Mass Library System. They said they're going to come, and Mdlc directors will be there. You guys can come if you want.
That's March 18th.
Yeah, Friday, March 18th at 7:30 a.m. And Mdlc takes care of it. They have a budget for that. Yeah, so they're going to set up it. Winter reading ended this month. I did well with that. Been doing a lot of take-home craft kits. Colin's been making them. She does a great job with that. Cheryl does them, and Catherine's doing them now too as well. So it's been going really well. Patrons come in every day, and we usually run out by the end of the day. That's when we announce it. So we do pretty well. Other than that, there's not much to talk about. We closed 2 days this month for snow days. Library things is going well. People are coming in, they're getting used to the idea of it, and they're really enjoying it. One thing we do have to figure out about it is apparently SFED doesn't tell us when someone is overdue. So we have to figure out how we address that. So other than that, though, things are going pretty well.
What's the most popular thing?
Oh, it's just fantastic.
The hotspots are still out in the world.
Did they change, like, vendors, providers?
Yeah, so originally the town was paying for the hotspots, and they were using Comcast, and so now it's T-Mobile.
It's fine, we're paying for it.
No, Mdlc.
Only reason I asked is someone who is used to using the town-owned ones.
Yeah, no.
Okay, checked out, and so it just, I don't know how you can check for that because I know more people to check.
There are coverage maps. I think I put that as part of the record from last week.
That's a good idea. Thank you. So it was not that.
Yeah.
You can buy some information, you know, the change. All right.
So, having been to one of the legislative breakfasts once a year, I recommend as many of the trustees attend as possible. If we can get the checks, before a couple people for the next week. I did a couple. They're nice opportunities to meet your legislatures and other trustees. And a good chance to show up the library. Thank people for their support. I had a question in the budget, Sam. How close are we on the personnel expenses? It says we're like under 37% available. Is that seems like it? So are we likely to have money left or close, or do we have an idea yet how we're tracking?
Yeah, I think we're going to have enough. I think Catherine is kind of taking away from it now, just we can have a higher person form. So, but yeah.
So you're saying our burner is higher?
Yeah, burner is. Yeah, but yeah, so I was actually going to do that. I think we're going to have some more, but I do want to have another staff meeting soon, and I know last time we talked about the book. And so the person that was in the session won't be in more of a conference, another person's house.
So both of those would require more staff time anyway, so. I'm gonna burn through this. I'm glad these things are being, the senior book club and the staff meeting.
Yeah, I would suggest trying to do, a staff meeting sometime this month, and then if you have the budget for it, then do one. We're still, I'm still just on to do.
Okay, any questions about director's report? Budget report, and that?
It just seems completely failing on the number.
Yeah, Sam, you can step up. What happened?
You
said
can't
were
even
going
say
to.
that they're counting extra pages.
I know.
Yeah, are you doing pages or people? Did we define this unit?
I
yet?
do. I do.
You need to define the unit. This is meaningless without a unit.
Yeah, I do by the person. Some people do by page, but for some reason I never get. I get like one page and then so.
We got zeros.
I know. So,
I bet.
I did you one yesterday.
So you kicked off March 12th.
I have one other question. All the museum passes, or all the museums basically up and running again now, and are
It's changes every day. Yeah, so it's
This room use. And we have what, November, December, January, February now, is this like stable? Kind of counts, or we like 20 bucks?
yeah, it's an averaging like that.
Okay.
And then I think I sent this.
Yes, we did.
Shows how the music moves.
This is really helpful.
Yeah, thank you, Susan. She worked.
There are a lot of community groups on here. Outside use meaning what? Yeah.
I think those are just random. She put the Girl Scouts on there because they're
specified as
Right.
but
other groups use it all the time. There are therapy groups that use it.
It's been nice to see, because I know we're concerned about spaces being booked every evening all the time, so it's kind of nice to see if there is room for more people want to use the rooms in the evening more. I guess less so for the, not for the entrance starts.
And everyone wants to stuff.
I'm not sure people realize this room is an option. At least on the weekends, they're always in the room.
Is this start?
This is start, yeah. Which is funny because when they have to move tables and things, like the whole room. You deserve that one.
It kind of feels like a special.
It does feel like a
Right,
special.
so I don't know if people feel like,
So one question from a user of this room for a meeting, no librarians here at work. It is on Sunday. Are there remotes for these TVs accessible only if we ask for them?
Yeah, so
When we ask for them,
no, there
or they're long time. Okay, that was another question someone asking me,
yeah, so
and I also experienced it myself.
yeah, so that's the tricky thing is they can walk away.
Yeah,
So we do keep them in here, but yeah, you're right. The patients on this one, no, they're in there unless they go.
or I think if they knew they needed it,
Right,
And ask
usually
for
they would ask. Usually people ask ahead of time.
usually not this trustee.
So yeah, I mean, we had group sign. So,
Or maybe in the email,
yeah,
the confirmation email saying if you need it to you, whatever. The other thing, they have fobs coming in, right? They have fobs to get in on weekends.
oh yeah.
So that's the only thing about this TV is locked up.
Oh, there are also keys available.
I just need to know ahead of time. There's no staff room. And then my other question, and this is only so I can keep back to the these youth groups who my family is associated with, are the rooms being left in a manner that are sufficiently clean? Or should I be asking them to bring supplies?
No, they're not terrible. Like today I cleaned up and I just took back them up a little bit. These tables, they get marked up.
They
But
do.
there's nothing in this, one of those magic erasers. That's what I did actually today.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the other day if we could keep some magic erasers under the sink there.
Yeah.
That might be useful.
Yeah, other than that, other than little marks here and there, it hasn't been that bad.
When my daughter's friends, Murray moved the other day, they moved the tables apart and there were crumbs under the table. And I was like, and now you know where the vacuum is. Clean it up and they vacuum for you. So,
Yeah, there's the vacuums in that room. I mean, if you go deeper, we should probably put a signage saying.
wondering if it would be helpful to have signage that people can do the extra stuff.
I think it would be helpful just to have like a room use sign somewhere, or like where the vacuum would be, where the cabling would be, that.
Yeah, and even in the study rooms, like you have a spill, where do you go to get the cleanup stuff? So hopefully I'm maybe a sign.
And I know in the old Cooper room, we actually asked people to take out trash too. I don't know what we're doing now, because I know those camps don't hold very much.
Yeah, so the clean ladies that you, the recycling, that's a little different because we need to figure out how we can do that, because even the town doesn't recycle plastic. We have a recycling bin out there, but it's cardboard and paper. So plastic is simple enough to figure out how to do. In the past, Andy was just and just now we have to figure out another way to handle it.
Any other comments?
This kind of goes on. One of the comments we had at delivery and when we first looked in the past is about all the artwork needing signage. And I know it was on a list, but I don't know the artwork in here. Well,
The portrait.
The portraits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is this person and why are we hanging them up?
Yeah, Cheryl and I were talking about it, we're working on. I know I think the name tags that used to be in the old
Yeah.
library are still up there.
There's still no old
I
library.
think so. Unless, I can't remember Cheryl, I think there's still up there. We know who everybody is. Cheryl has a list of it.
So I don't know if we want to put them up with a portrait or put like a page somewhere or somewhere online. You can go and look up, who this, we could say who the person is and then have a link to something that has a
Can we
little
put it on
more
the website?
information. Yeah, if you do, something like that.
I'm not sure putting more on the wall and things are gonna move makes sense. For like the name. Below.
Yeah, I mean, we could just have a key somewhere in the library.
Yeah. But I do like the idea that being accessible. Or in the history room. But it was, that was Tico's asked question at the Rotary. Who's this? And I was like, oh, I only know a couple. And then they're like, why is that person important? I was like, I actually don't know. I am not a good historian. Stuff up on my history.
We actually do have that written up somewhere, so I can probably just put it on the website.
Cool.
We have to do everybody. So,
There was also the question about there's artwork in the history room too, and we knew where Ruben Moore was, but
Good.
I thought Ruben Moore was in the room.
Yeah, there's two persons.
There's two.
Yeah, there's one in the.
There would be that one in the history room. Both of them are in this. All right. Any old business? Old business. Good. Any new business?
So I received an email from Reagan Donovan. She is working with, she's vice president of the LHS class of 2025, and her class is hosting Clothing Drive in partnership with the Mdlc Foundation. And she's hoping to have a location drop off bin for clothing, outerwear, footwear, accessories, backpacks, handbags, costumes and dress-up clothes, household fabrics, bedding, sofa covers, tablecloth, towels. And it will drive last from March 14th to April 13th. So she'd like permission to put the bin out upstairs. This isn't anything we haven't done before. Usually we just tell the person that they have to come a couple times a week to actually have.
So that sounds like everything.
I was gonna say that, that was my one, like, you said there was these dimensions and I was trying to figure out how.
Yeah, well, I think she's getting more.
I know who she is.
So, but yeah, I'll talk to her about the size of the bin.
Okay, so we're giving her a limit and then she has to come empty it accordingly, and we'll have her contact should it get overfilled. Are we taking it back in the entry?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what's
I think that.
Okay, I'm not getting the janitor.
No, it won't cost.
Any questions, concerns about a clothing bin? I'm glad we've done this before.
We need to vote on this one? Or is it just, it's okay.
It follows the policy and approved by director, right?
Just big commitment that he's gonna come at least twice, more times a week. That should have been, yeah.
Has the potential to fill the thing.
Yeah, I'll definitely touch her.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the next thing.
The next thing was
The volunteer.
the volunteer policy. Do you want to introduce this?
I can, sure. The volunteer policy, thank you for everybody who went into it and helped to add some comments. I feel like this one, once we pull it up, you'll see all the comments. Oh, are you going to do the PDF or no?
The Google Doc?
The Google Doc. I think we should do the Google Doc. There's a lot of conversations that we've had.
Yeah, this is the one I think there's most outstanding.
Yeah. And is there, I don't know if I can put it in chat for you, so I don't know what these videos are.
Just Father.
So I think if you sign in, Sam, we'll be able to see the comments. If that's in. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this probably needs more conversation. I don't know if this is the right time and place to have it, or if we should put this on hold and have kind of go over it more. So what do people think about that?
Should we have a discussion about it and then revisit it for any future?
But that's what I'm thinking, so I don't think we're gonna get to vote on it today.
Okay. I think this one might be some discussion now, and we're here together.
Yes.
So.
Okay, so the first couple questions were, Mark was wondering about whether or not friends count as library volunteers, whether that should be a category that's under types of volunteers.
I don't think they've been candidates in the past. Usually senior tax workers, senior workers. But I don't think friends have been. So usually we keep a count for the state report. And on the state report, friends are counted as something else that was counted as friends. And then senior tax workers are actually counted as something else as well. And then regular volunteers are their own category.
So is the distinction that friends are doing things in support of the library, but not everyday library tasks.
Yeah, I think it's just pretty much every library has a French group, so they're kind of as their own.
And separate organization.
Right. And then as far as senior tax workers, the state has some sort of rule about how, as they're technically getting paid in a way, they're getting a subsidy for their tax. So that doesn't count exactly. So just pure volunteer that comes in, just wants to volunteer, that's what's the whole kind of honestly.
I think that's,
So to that, sorry.
yeah,
So the distinction is if we're giving someone a scholarship, is that not volunteer hours, or does that allow us?
That's like one of volunteer for the state.
For the state report.
Right. So there
So
is
the
a
state
category.
report is literally the student intern and the community service.
So there's a category for subsidized workers and non-subsidized. So, so student volunteers, senior tax workers who count under the subsidized category, and then other volunteers be subsidized. And then French group is their own separate columns.
Where do the trustees fall?
Trustees have their own column as well, but they're not responsible.
Are we supposed to check in when we come and do stuff?
Or they can't keep track of your hours. Okay, so the answer is no for friends.
no, for friends, so that's fine. I think, Katrina, you had kind of an overall question about, where we should have kind of the, requirements for these different categories,
Yeah.
whether it should be in here or outside the referred to here. That was one of your questions.
Yeah, so basically when I read this, I wasn't clear on the distinction, or commitment that these levels would require. And I personally see very different things for someone who's got a scholarship versus an intern who's here on a regular basis, learning how to support the library on an ongoing basis. I think those are the kind of volunteers that are the most useful for the library. We want to encourage those. And then there's the one-off community service events, if we're doing mini golf and we're getting high school kids helping us with things or book sales and things like that, I see those as our opening that all of the NHS kids came to support the activities, which was awesome. Like that falls into that community service, like that one-off, not a regular ongoing basis, which is helpful when we need it, but it isn't necessarily the help we need on a regular basis.
And I guess I'm wondering too, because I'm wondering if it does fall into community service, because according to this, it says set by an outside agency. And I'm wondering about whether, like, it feels like there isn't a category for just people that want to volunteer just because they want to volunteer.
Yeah, maybe it shouldn't be student intern. Like, I know that's for high schools, but yeah, if an adult wanted to come and volunteer more regularly, where would they fit? Like if you had someone who wants to shelter you, that is adult age.
Well, another way to say it is when you have a senior, we've had this in the past where we had the tax volunteers that they had to do X number of hours, and they were done by December and they just kept going. Right. And they're no longer being subsidized.
Right.
Anymore, so they still need to be counted somewhere. Right?
Yeah. And that's why we have the book that so yeah, then isn't community service like you are mandated by the state to do community service hours? Is that what that
Or I would think it for the high school
requirements that require X number of hours to graduate, or
so I think, like, I don't know from the state perspective if they keep track of it or not, but some kind of category for people who just want to volunteer, they come in and help with the golf or whatever it is, right? Like either for a one-off or a regular position.
I think that so the mini golf probably isn't the best example because those technically fall under friends and we get help through friends and friends is a separate business. So taking that off the thing. But if we're thinking the lots of helpers and the on the opening weekend, that was a one-off event, right? They do think these are very formal, like the student intern being that would fall under the school requirements, community service to be an adult, but to me, the distinction of what would be useful for us is someone who's there on a regular basis, weekly or whatever, versus, I guess I'm doing this from the perspective of drawing people to, and like advertising volunteer opportunities for us, but maybe that's not the right way to.
So it seems like you want to say there's something, you know, the regular volunteer and the regular volunteer, and then community services somewhere in the middle, right?
I really think there should be a category for volunteer. Just the people who are under the age of 16 or above the age of students who just want to come, who want to volunteer, like, and ideally on a regular basis. Like, what if those once a week or like.
So I do think that if we get too many people here, that the staff has to just keep track of, and
That's
it's
true.
actually detrimental to their work. So we want people to be willing, we're willing to volunteer on a regular basis. That's what we want.
Right. So should there be a category?
I don't care whether they're a student or if they're an adult. You know, the student would be
But
getting credit for
specifically, like,
school.
not, yeah,
Heck, adults could be getting hours for like presidential volunteer awards and things like that if they wanted it, but
the student intern, that's one of the categories from the state.
No, it's
So could we-
we'll just volunteer.
So maybe we could make that more general.
should we simplify it to
Yes.
the state?
Yeah, it's really what for the purposes of the state report, I just need to know, are they getting some sort of compensation for this or are they not getting compensation? So you can say compensated volunteers versus non-compensated, something along those lines, but for the state report, really I just need to know, are they just volunteers, just volunteer? Doesn't matter what age they are, or are they getting some sort of incentive?
So the ones that are required to do community service are fall somewhere else in between that though, right? Because they're not getting paid, but they're required to.
Right, so if there's some sort of financial aspect to it, that's the distinction. If it's just volunteering, whether it's for hours, as your school system, that's just small.
So maybe community service should.
So my suggestion is we reorganize this slightly and then you have like different definitions of volunteer, right? You have your intermittent volunteer and your recurring volunteer and your community service volunteer, right? Right. And that's more what this is. But they're all, you know, those are like volunteering opportunities more than categories per se, right?
Right.
That's Mary, do you have any thoughts on this?
It just feels like they should probably combine student intern and community service to some extent. Make that,
It does feel like one,
make it one policy, one.
it would probably be covered under one pretty easily. And I think somewhere in there stating that what is preferred is someone who's going to come on a
Right.
routine basis.
Yeah.
In just established in conjunction with.
Right, let me have a,
However, but also saying that there will probably be one-off event that we go to. So if someone wants to volunteer and it's like, I can't do it regularly, I'll give you my name if there's an event, that's enough for me.
because I agree with you, this should be more of like a, where do I fall? What can I
Yeah,
do?
like if someone, for example, I was just asked, what are there opportunities for specifically middle schooler who's interested? Like, what are the opportunities at the library? We're talking about that this week, and even now I'm like, what do I follow up with?
Right,
So that's a little different, right? At one point we had like a folder or binder or something with things you could do that was not in the policy about what it meant to be a volunteer, right? But we had a list of things.
Volunteer, like
You know,
tasks.
tasks. I don't know if we still have that, if it's been updated or. We should come up with that and probably even what we have is probably 80 something different buildings.
So we should keep Great Holiday Scholarship recipient, we should keep senior citizen tax program program, and we should come up with some kind of general statement that applies to all other tax scholarships.
Do we know how many volunteers do we have on a regular basis? Like,
Since COVID, it's varied. Right now I know that, it's actually,
it's just volunteer hours.
yeah. So yeah, so the 2 hours was from that one we came in.
It's on.
And then, I think Diane has someone that comes in and helps her. So that's what I can help.
I think it's fair to say, because we're talking, like, we want people, I'm not sure that at the moment we're getting so many people that we can't handle it, but we very well might. But we can certainly in the policy say, we might not need your help right now. Give us your information. Yeah.
Before COVID, how many volunteers?
Before COVID, we had several, senior tax workers working here. We had some floating and sponsoring.
What kind of things?
They would shove books, they would shove read for us. They would help out with, programs, they would help out with, senior. Sometimes they would help, make sure the books were in order, things like that. Sometimes helping to have someone that come in and kind of help with checking invoices to make sure everything is done correctly. For ASCO, we had someone who was helping covering books.
Are there senior tax workout people interested in that now, or are we just
So there was,
right?
so I can, usually it's not the senior tax workers that come to us, it's, Liz will about something, else, doing with somebody. So I told her we would do some of the things.
Do we have a place on, like, I remember from other organizations, a place online where people could express their interest in being a volunteer and say like what their level of, like what they're interested in doing? Yeah, what their level of commitment, also what they might be interested in helping out with. So we could build a little list of people and then reach out to them when needed.
So we do have people that come in to ask, if they volunteer. It's just,
I'm just wondering if there's like a form they can fill out.
there's no form.
So when someone comes in and asks, what do you guys do?
At the moment, we have the staff doing, we have student workers, and then we have little things from there, but that's
You take their information for the future?
Mhm.
Is there an official place where that lives?
that's true.
So there have been other times in the past where we get massive volunteer efforts, like at one point, at least once, we've had to go through and remark every book in the library. And that was a massive undertaking. I think Sarah and I were probably here doing it for 30 to 40 hours. Again, I don't know how many people were doing it. It was a huge thing to do. There are opportunities like when things like that come along, everyone you can get.
I think that's what would be nice to have a database on it, right?
Yeah.
So a spreadsheet or something like that.
Well, that's probably also with friends because
Sure.
our biggest draw.
But if people are coming to the library on their own too, it's like some place we should not just on a piece of paper somewhere.
Well, also maybe should be shared with friends if we need helpers, right?
Yeah.
No? Yeah. Like they look still coming
I
up, they
agree
could
with
use
you.
some extra hands.
Yep.
If they're not getting the signups, then we.
Can I take a stab at building an online form? Flash spreadsheet. Spreadsheet.
That will be to you in an hour.
No, it will not.
Expected in your mailbox.
Maybe.
They will be there. Let's be honest.
No, that's gonna be the fun part of what I'm gonna do, is the writing this paragraph about the kind of volunteering not funds. I'm gonna do that first, so I can look.
So were there other big sections of the document that we needed to discuss?
There was one more, no, there were two small things. One was, Wendy wants to know for Rainbow Day if we're opening it officially up to juniors as well. Or if this is a one-off this year.
Seems like for the last several years, we always seems like we're struggling, so I don't get mad to open up to juniors, but
I
I
think
don't
that's
see
right
a
too.
reason not to. I mean, if you get seniors and juniors, you can always choose.
yeah.
Right. I like,
It seems like juniors actually have the time to write the hours.
it also might be more interesting continuing on after we've already done the house. The other thing was,
I guess you should specify whether they can size here
Yes.
or not.
can they?
We're Virginia territory here. So can they?
Your decision.
I mean, the time has already been given. If they've already had like a scholarship as a junior and they repeat as a senior. I do feel like maybe and maybe I'm not looking in the right spot, but maybe we should really flush out what the scholarship is and the maximum. Again, when we do the budget, we know we have this amount per year. Like, I feel like this is one of those, let's budget it, let's say this many, that gives us two, maximum of two each year and decide whether maybe we should formalize the scholarship.
I think that's good. I don't think we have to do it.
No, I don't think we need to do it here, but I do think there are lots of questions about that,
Yes.
that it would be nice to have it.
I don't even know how much we're giving it.
What is the scholarship?
So the scholarship is $2,000. In the past, it's sort of not interesting how much it is for the each person, 2,000 or whatever it is. The amount was very good the year since I've been here. I think it started with like 1,200. And so it's moving down to 2,000.
So this is where I would like to kind of like, if we're going to go forward on this, just to make it crystal clear, this is the framework we are working with year after year.
Yeah.
And this is the budget, and this is the process, and whether this junior can apply again as a senior.
So on that, I think you just put it in the application and say, you know, you can put it in the application, so juniors are welcome, seniors are preferred. So that's what your decision was. And you can also put in that, you know, if you were awarded, nothing prevents you from applying twice, but you might have to do something better with other qualified. Very well.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for volunteer policy for now. We'll keep on our counter and bring it back next week next time. Library usage policy. I'm glad to hear that the kids are doing a better job of kind of thinking about themselves and helping around and things. But I think it's probably still important to have guidelines. I think, so Wendy's first question, so there's kind of a two-part question. Wendy's first question is it enough to say in an orderly and respectful manner, or do you need to expand that and be specific about what kinds of things that people need to do? What do people think?
Is that clear enough for anyone to understand and follow?
It feels clear to me.
So if you try to make it clearer, you're going to, people are going to say, well, it says this and not that.
Right.
And if you try,
Every people will be
yeah, so,
explained, yes.
and if you try to make it fuzzier, you're going to have the same problem. So,
I mean, at the discretion.
At the discretion of some-
Right,
of
so
some-
who's making the decision at the moment that it's orderly and respectful?
It says the library staff determines that a patron act in an objectionable manner. Reserves the right to ask them to
See,
leave.
that feels,
And if not, they will call the police. So right there, we have action and consequence of both of those.
Yeah, okay. Mark, you want to know if it was will or may?
So,
It's a good point. It's a good point.
so,
That's a formal word.
for those that aren't engineers, will is not a legal word in a policy document.
Okay.
It's either may or shall, right? Will, can aren't words, right? So it's, are we telling the staff they have to call the police, or are we suggesting that the staff can call the police? So right now it's saying staff
Must.
must call the police, right? And I don't think that's true. So that's why it was just.
I like it. Yep. Okay, this was, okay, eating and drinking. Okay, wait, which one was this?
We've got
March
smoking
was-
and vaping first.
In the library or on the, okay, sorry, yes.
So
I think on the grounds.
it's
The town of Wilton.
the town of Littleton on the grounds.
Yeah, town of Wilton, it's, from this down on, the building thing.
Yeah. We were told by the town administrator in the
Yeah.
parking lot.
Yeah, smoking anywhere on town property is not allowed.
Which would mean on the patio as well.
Right, so on, in what, on library property?
It's not property.
On town property. But we're trying to the library policy.
And you're in charge of library.
You can say on library, in the library or on, and I call it on, say on the library
Surrounding
and
grounds.
on and surrounding property.
On the surrounding property? Including meeting room seating alone. Oh, we're done, like, we don't really need that, do we? That's just,
Someone's gonna do it.
I just wanted to make sure, because we were allowed to eat and drink before, and is that still gonna?
It's never been allowed in the industry.
Right.
Yeah.
But in general, new libraries, still the same policy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Renovations are gonna come in at much. Yeah, soon.
It's a lovely place to have lunch. Actually, all of my child's friends on the half day had lunch in the room before they did their thing.
It's a nice thing about our library, it's not true at all. And this was another question, and maybe this does have to do with respectful and non-objectionable, but Katrina had it about whether or not we need more, clauses about what to do with your food and your cleanup and everything like that.
Yeah.
What do
I
you
mean,
think?
I think that comes, maybe it's more coming down to we should put signage in, like telling people how we expect them to be,
Right, not a policy, but like a,
Yeah.
expectations.
and making it visible.
Yeah.
So in meeting rooms, it's just clean up after yourself.
Yeah.
Mom doesn't live here. Clean up after yourself.
And then there's a question about alcohol. Non-alcohol. Does this need to specify non-alcoholic beverages only or should partially reference the townwide rule? Sorry, so Katrina's got a comment, underneath justice needed subclass or something more.
I didn't realize it wrote more. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So let's just,
I wouldn't say anything about alcohol. 'cause
Yeah.
It's the town policy, right? don't
yeah, we
have
should
to-
be following the town policy.
If you put something in here, you prevent yourself potentially from having an event that allows you to serve alcohol.
Right.
So, but they're not to have it.
So my dream fundraiser, I couldn't have it.
If we have that policy.
Okay, yeah.
Pepperell has a nice wine list.
It was a lovely event. We should absolutely have one. I
Okay.
still have my wine glass.
Oh. Okay, this next one, you would like to take out the other than by the Friends of the Rivermore Library, and then do the vote to allow friends to do the activities. That makes sense to me. This is in 2.5.
And then we both have let friends.
Should we vote on that now? I move to allow the Friends of the Rivermore Library to,
We're taking
Kimberly, why don't we do that under other business?
Okay, that's okay.
other business
Okay.
friends.
So we're doing one thing at a time.
Get out of your chair.
Just making a suggestion.
So that's a good idea. Okay.
You're Katrina, you're you.
And then the last thing was, about the pay per use copier and whether or not, we should include printers here or if that's someplace else.
I don't know if it's something that
I think it is. So I think we can include.
you get to pay per use. Copiers.
Good. Does anyone else have any thoughts or comments on the library usage policy? And if not, would someone like you to approve it?
I'll move to approve it as amended on this day.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh. Just type the library usage policy, not the volunteer one.
Just the
Correct.
library usage.
Great, sorry. Aye.
We are holding the bonus here.
Today is 3:30.
You're
Just as good this in person as I am on Zoom.
Okay, and last but not least for today, the art gallery policy, which Cheryl put together this summer. And I only think there's a couple of presidents. Do you have it up? Good. Okay. So I think it's just this is just a general question. There could be 2 volunteers, but are there other volunteers on the gallery committee right now? So,
Yeah, they're looking for Cheryl, which is awesome.
Okay.
Will you document that anywhere?
That's me.
You're changing the name of the policy to Mr. Rombacher.
Wrong time.
And then next, scrolling down at the bottom, we've got the pricing maybe listed on a. This is whether the works are ever on sale.
Does this violate our prior policy?
What was our prior policy?
The line.
Of soliciting? The soliciting?
It's not really solicited. So,
Please, can you justify it? So we don't have to go
Justify
back?
so no one's going in at, I mean,
The friends aren't either, they have just books standing there.
yeah. That's not what I really consider soliciting either. When it's not unusual when you're going to good places, they allow people to hang artwork and then allow them to sell it right at the end of the show. It's-
Well, it's price list, like
They
you
have a
can
price.
or cannot pick up, like you may
Yeah.
choose to pick up.
You choose whether you want to sell it or some of the people want to sell their art, some who don't, right? So, and I think as long as the rule is that the art stays until the end of the show, I don't have a problem with people putting their prices somewhere. I'd rather with the art hanging there.
And it's not, it doesn't say that it will be. This is on a sheet and a folder.
Which we have the holder installed.
So,
Because the sheets anyway, people sometimes have sheets that just explain the art, right?
Yeah, and occasionally in the old library, there were prices.
so we sold some of his friends there before and I know of other people. So I don't have a, yeah, it's not like it's gear based that you're doing, so.
It's not a gallery opening where the artist is there.
It's usually them, the staff is taking money for it.
Okay, so really, there's no money passing through the stuff.
No, because it says must be purchased directly from the exhibitor, and the library will not act as a sales agent. Okay, I'm okay with that.
As long as it says artwork has substantial at the end of the show.
Full of may only be removed from the exhibit if it is similar or to exhibit in its place. I
It
think
might be a theme for Cheryl and try not to look
that's true. She wrote this.
She wrote it. She never should get it before.
Okay, and a date of it all. All of it, yes.
That'll be done.
What?
That'll be done.
Oh my gosh. No, not
You are
all
most
done.
efficient person.
I'm quite efficient, that is my qualities. Okay, we decided it's a good order now.
Ready for my motion to approve this one?
Yes, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Great, thank you, everyone.
Other than the volunteer one, are there more to come still, or?
We have still confidentiality of records. Which gives a little, well, with library internet policy. I feel like some of these work, because we were done at different times, some of them overlap with other ones. So, like finance gift policy, but we do have like a gift agreement on it. So there's general policies. I don't really know, what those, so yeah, there's a handful. We save the hard ones.
Do you want them all done to read?
That would be nice.
Actually, yes, that's what's all.
Then I can focus on the budget and not study. Okay.
I want to thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing this. It's been on the list for a long time. You should be able to come up for it.
Cool.
Great.
That's all for that.
So that's all we're 3 visits volunteer. All right, any other business?
I didn't know if Kimberly was gonna move them with the Friends of the Library.
Oh, that's another business thing, right?
That is, yes,
I don't know how to move that. What are we allowing them to do?
have
Solicitation.
solicitation.
Whatever you just believe.
Yeah.
What did we
What is
say?
that?
And then we
I know, I can read it, but like, what is that? What does that mean? I don't know, we just approved it.
they can stand here and have a coin.
And like do cookie sales? Like, is that the kind of thing we're talking about? Yeah, okay. So moved to allow, the Friends of the Rivermore Library to take part in activities related to sales, including signs, collection, or solicitations.
Say that again, Flor?
Yeah. So moved.
She does.
To allow the library to take part in the, activity relating to sales, including signs, collection, or solicitations.
We're just calling that for the benefit of
Yeah.
the
I would say for the benefit of the library.
Good thing from the interim.
I'll second.
In favor?
That was it for me, yeah.
All right, so we got, clean that one out. The other business, do we want, I emailed you all the, link to the memo for the, select board. Or hope was that we could all sign edits. Or.
Good. Do you want us to get back to you? When do you want us to get back to you?
No, we should probably send it tomorrow. So you guys want to scan it now?
Sure.
Do you want, like, how do you want signatures? Do you want them like,
I mean, if we are in agreement with this document, we can do,
I can have students 7 copies.
okay, you can put in effect, and we can do it tomorrow. That works for everyone?
No.
So the budget meeting is on Tuesday. Will it be to have this? In the morning. So I recognize that there are a few first and supplementary material at the end, but I need to confirm with Sam. Or we include them. But the main meat of the memo is the first page. I know you are. Sam, are you good with this? Because you wrote lots of these things. the three of us have worked on it already. Through multiple iterations at this point, so. it looks good.
Perfect. Mentioned trust fund.
We will finalize those few numbers. First thing, not tonight.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. Is there anything else that needs to be addressed in your other business?
Two questions. Are we reactivating the public?
Yeah. I think there's something wrong with it. So that's what it is.
Is someone looking at that, or is for the front to look at that, or is it something else?
No, we're just looking at whether or not it's something else. Or so there are two questions.
Yeah, my other was, how's the staff doing with the new COVID and mask policy in town? Is there any?
It's been okay. Most of the staff just continue to wear their masks. Some of them have slowly started picking them off. And then the patrons usually come with the mask, and then they see someone without a mask, and where is that normal? It's not. Okay, I think it's an issue. They just continue to wear their dress.
But everyone's comfortable and getting, okay.
Any other questions? What Mark, please, you have to ask. I've actually questioned spam too much this week and I have no.
My other thing is, I think we need to work out a system on the recycling too, because there's
Sorry.
a lot recycling and how to do the better.
Yeah.
We still need to go through, with you or someone to go through the storage closet and figure out how much of that is really needed. It seems like Katrina and I cleaned it out and then just forward.
Yeah, I think there's some chairs in there. They literally almost gone. So
Is that, I haven't visited since you've done that. Do we need to, you're looking for other storage parts or?
yeah, I just have to get another two carts so that I can divide up the chairs. Because right now the chairs,
They're so high, I couldn't get them to the top so I can see how they would fall.
yeah, just because they handle that many. So,
And the other option would be to leave some small, short stacks of chairs in the room.
that's kind of hoping people.
I know.
Hearing so.
Maybe we can put them right there and want to see them.
I mean, not dangerous.
So to me.
How is the lighting heating system in the building is more under control now than it was before?
So it gets fixed, and then like this room, it used to be that each button controlled certain lights, and then all of a sudden now any button just turns off all lights. I have to talk to them about it because it gets done and then someone again undoes it. Same thing with Helen's office, like it's set to be at 90%, and then there are days when she walks in and it's like very low level. So it's set at 90% again. A days later, it goes back. We probably have to stick by.
And I know the HVAC system was loud before and learned more than it should. Is that been addressed too? Because like when we were in the murder the other day, it's outrageous, very warm.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think Viking, that's the HVAC people. I think they figured out a balance. But
But that was smart.
yeah, that's the other thing. Sometimes it's still rooms take longer.
So I was pushing that we were leaving the doors of the library open, but I've never seen it before we were doing that. So it's a really warm day.
Oh, you know, the doors. Yeah, Unless it was like one day. Just leaving the door. Yeah. Unless it's 1 hour.
Should we not be doing that if it's from out
Yeah, I don't know what we would do. Doing that. So we could probably ask,
Yeah.
because I don't know what the balance is going to do.
Right, pressure.
Yeah, it was just lots of pressure. We put the American flag up. Yes. That's a.
We were looking for one inside. I told you there was a flagpole. I didn't know that there was a flag.
We were asked with the Rotary if there was a flag in the building for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we realized there was no flag.
Never.
But we didn't have one at the Cooper room,
No,
but no one used the Cooper room.
yeah, I can get a flag.
That's the question, do we want to let them available? I mean, that's the first request, should we
I mean,
see?
other committees use their.
I do think like if,
I mean, we
in
don't.
the
do it,
legislative thing you're coming, like,
but, yeah, I mean,
does that need to have a? Correct, that's not a meeting.
Maybe we would always bring our own, the Girl Scouts would always bring our own. They do that.
We have a library of things. They might actually.
We have enough TVs. We have easily display.
Yeah. Well, they do, it's true, but it's not very often.
Sure, there's a gift of one. Fire.
Yeah, no, that was.
Okay, that kind of safety. For the second for the paper, does that go get shriveled, or is that just? Okay, something from the paper side, like.
Oh, that's
I'm
just.
sure they do in the.
I don't have any.
Move to close the meeting?
Favor? Oh. The next meeting is April 7th, 2022. And now all in favor.
Aye.
Hi. You in a month.
Second.